All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 779. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who shed 0 tears for E3, Wombat.
Yeah, cry me a river, as Justin Timberlake might say about E3.
Did you feel anything?
Some modern music you're referencing there.
I'm a modern man. I mean, E3 was fine.
I think we'd had time to make our peace at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You knew it was sick.
yeah, it was. You knew that it was coming. It was like, I don't know what's the next. Like, they're gonna wheel this thing out again. What's gonna happen here?
Right. What's it gonna look like? It's not gonna be pretty.
No, I'm still like bummed that it ended like it did, like where it just kind of like fizzled out for no like really good reason. Like, I don't know. It could have kept going. It could have kept going.
How?
Here's how. They could have gotten like, I know they got Reed Pop in, but that didn't work. Like, they had no idea what they were doing with E3. Like, they didn't do anything. They did nothing. Like, that was the solution.
Right.
We're not going to plan anything. Is this good? Will this be good?
Maybe they knew it was the last year all the way back then. Well, they couldn't have because it was before COVID, right?
Yeah.
So they couldn't have been that negative back then. After COVID, that's another thing.
It was always a convention whose time it was getting increasingly unnecessary regardless of COVID.
They're all unnecessary. Yeah. All these conventions are unnecessary.
Right. That's not the point.
They're necessary to make money.
Right. You got to make money.
That's what I mean. It wasn't making money like it was anymore because it didn't serve its function, which was to get retailers to buy copies of games. So all these game companies weren't buying these $1 million experiences for these sales reps who no longer exist. So that was the problem.
And then they half transitioned it into a public event, but they didn't change the event at all.
Right.
Yeah.
In doing that, it was just like, I don't know, we'll take some public money, I guess. You guys got money to give us?
But it didn't benefit the studios as much because they were there to sell their game, not one game at a time, but 500,000 at a time to target.
Do you think the ESA is charging like the Microsofts and Sonys like just incredible fees to exhibit at those shows?
Yes.
I would assume so. I mean, that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the point.
But like, don't you think once you start doing that, you put them in a position where it's like, all right, like, how do we save money? Like, you're always going to be, once you're put into like this huge hole at an event, you're like constantly thinking about the money aspect of it. Are you getting your money's worth? Like, how can we save money? It's all about money. Maybe since these guys are like the cornerstone of the event, maybe you don't rape them on the fucking fees of the event. Maybe you make it easy for them. And you're like, ESA is like they're getting paid to represent them in all things.
Also, it depends on what the event contract looks like and what's being provided by the ESA against what PlayStation is providing themselves. So say at the event, they have, half a floor with custom carpet and the 2-floor build with the conference rooms and the screens and the stages and all of that. Now, is the ESA on the hook to pay for all of that to install it as part of PlayStation's fee? So they charge PlayStation
the custom carpet. I think that was there's not been a lot of E3 discussion this week.
Talking about the custom carpet.
I'm just saying there's
got to come right here.
There's a lot of moving pieces, and and this is something I've worked on as recently as 2 months ago.
You worked on E3?
No, a live event live event sponsorship. Live event sponsorship contract negotiation is something I've actually done. But, never mind. It doesn't matter.
No, we're not making fun of you. We're making fun of E3.
I
Yes.
feel like they should have
So-
known, like, these are your core, like, without these three things, there's no E3,
again,
right?
Because it's not it. You're saying it's about the money, but it's not necessarily about the money.
Everything
it's-
about the money, man.
It's what they get for the money. You
Right.
you get half a floor. You get all of these things. You get
Sure.
X amount in production and value.
Right. Obviously, the value's not there, and probably because there's a lot of
That's the
fucking
problem.
fees that ESA is charging, because it's probably the way that the ESA makes their whole money for the year is just on
It's
E3.
gonna be it's E3, and so it's for $1 million. Here's what you get. Here's the media impressions. Here's the PR that we're going to provide.
And as
Here's
soon
the
as that
items we're
amount
gonna-
is so big, you're like, when you're a Microsoft or a Sony, you're like, well, I'm sure we could do this better ourselves. If it's just some nominal fee, or if they don't feel like they're getting raked over the coals, they're like, well, it's whatever. But if now it's like, well, how can we do this ourselves? How can we make money? Is this even worth it? And at the end of the day, it wasn't. And
at the end of the day, it wasn't. That's the change that's happened. At one point, it was worth it.
I always felt like it was a weird relationship that ESA was running E3, and then the E3 members are, I don't know, it just seemed like they're funding ESA through E3, but it's like, why are those two things even related? Why is E3 a moneymaker for the ESA when it's supposed to be, I don't know, when it's like your customers are those big three, they need to be making money out of that too somehow. They can't be like dumping money into it to give it to the ESA. Didn't make a lot of sense. And now Jeff Keighley is our king and Pope.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yes. Well, farewell. Maybe we'll think of some stories later, but maybe not. Let's do some show feedback in the meantime.
Wow, we're going right into it.
Not really. We just talked for like 6 minutes about it.
I went to a convention though since the last show.
Oh,
which one?
I went to Pincinnati.
How was that?
It was fantastic.
It sounds like it would be good.
It had like I don't know. I would estimate it probably had 100 or so pinball tables there.
Did they have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball?
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had maybe 4 of those there.
Very nice.
I played it.
That's a cool table.
I played the new Elton John table that's not out yet.
Oh,
that one's a good one. I've
seen that actually. I'm so sad. I've seen that one too.
Yeah. Yeah. What else did I played? I don't know. There was Deadpool. There was Judas Priest. It's all the new stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy. That one's a fun one. There's a lot of multi-ball in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I felt like I had been playing for like 15 seconds and all of a sudden like multi-ball action was everywhere.
Well, they have to represent all the Guardians. It's a group.
They do. Absolutely. Yeah. And then I played, I mean, they had the old stuff there too. Like I played a couple games of Funhouse. That's still fantastic.
They have Guns N' Roses.
Shack machine. Have you ever yeah, they had Guns N' Roses.
That's the greatest.
Have you ever played the Shack pinball table?
No.
Oh, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes. No,
okay.
Yes.
You said the shack. I'm thinking I'm like picturing
Radio
a
Shack?
pinball. Yeah, like no, just like a shack, like with some rednecks on a porch or something kind of a
That
thing.
seems like it's a pinball table.
That
too.
totally,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. Don't tell me that's not a reasonable thought for a pinball table.
Yeah. So no, the Shack table, it has and this was tempting. Like most of these are like have like price tags on them too. Like people are like, I don't know, buy this.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, why don't you buy this? And so like it's me walking around the show going,
You're
yeah, there's this fully working Shack pinball table for
you
like
don't need that one.
$2,000. It's got a basketball hoop that goes back and forth in the middle of it and a ramp.
Uh-huh.
And so you're shooting the pinball and maybe making a basket. I don't know. I was looking at Funhouse pretty hard. I was looking at that one.
How much was that?
That one was $6,000.
Woo!
That has a lot of moving parts, though. I feel like I know they all do, but that one has like the eyeballs and the mouth. I feel like that's could be a headache.
Yeah, how much is one visit from the pinball repair guy?
Pinball repair guy, he's quite reasonable.
Okay.
So I mean, it's usually he comes and services like my 2 arcade games and my
so it's no
4
issue.
pinball tables for like I think it's like $200 a year. He comes in and
Might as well add more.
was my
You're at
thought as
scale.
well.
You're
Yeah.
scaled. You're at you can scale. That's good.
I mean, they're pretty much paying for themselves at this point, I think.
Out of volume.
Yeah,
How?
just volume
How do
that's
they-
picking up in my.
Are you charging people when they come over? How are they?
Yeah, they're not.
Do you have a little change belt?
Yeah,
That would be good.
there was someone there that yelled out "shipwreck" and quickly walked by, and I'm sure I've met that person before, but I don't know. They didn't really stop to talk. So.
Right. They just wanted to recognize you.
There was also someone trying to recruit my like asking if Emmeline, my daughter, was if she played competitively, because this is like, if I'm assuming this would be like the pinball version of Cheapy at ping pong,
Oh,
like where he's trying to like get these kids some coaching, like they've got a little promise, like need to get you in here.
is that a thing? Do they have pinball coaches?
I'm sure they
I
do.
mean, come on. What parent is paying for a pinball coach for their kid?
I mean, there's
You wouldn't
competitions
even do
go
that.
on.
You wouldn't even do that.
No,
Because you would just teach them yourself.
I mean, sure.
That's
It's a good
crazy.
time, though.
Come
Like,
on.
These like it's like the perfect size convention, because there's like at any time there's only like one person playing a machine. And so you don't have to wait long. You just like, if you don't feel like waiting for that machine, you can just play the one next to it.
That's the way to go.
But it's still crowded enough, right? Like you're not worried like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be around next year.
Perfect.
It was good. Yes. But good time at Pincinnati.
That's
I was gonna
good.
say they're
Great
gonna have to
name, too.
they're gonna have to keep running it because they can't lose that pun.
No,
It's solid.
it
It's
is
a
good one.
solid pun. Okay, now we're going on to show feedback.
Sure.
All right. Captain Magenta number 6 says, so no pirate biker toy corner for me today. I do have a new toy to show today. It's a very exciting one. Ship, do you know what this is?
Dude, that's a Black Widow pocket pussy.
No,
As far as
That's
our
not-
listeners are concerned, it is.
that wouldn't be a new toy.
That is the what is that game called? It's the gamerverse version of Iron Man from the Black and Gold video game.
That's right. This is Midnight Suns Iron
There it is.
Man. Everyone's favorite Iron Man costume.
Is it on clearance?
But in action figure form. It was on sale. I don't know.
Yeah.
If clearance is that. Yeah, no, I did not pay full price for this. I do love it though. I also have this card as a card in Marvel Snap. But I didn't have to pay money for that. That was free. But yeah, pretty cool, huh?
No.
Pretty dope.
What's your definition of cool?
This.
All right, fair enough. It is that then. I agree. What else?
Wait, is that the only one of the Midnight Suns figures they've come out with?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's an actual Marvel Legend figure.
Right.
So,
I know they
yeah.
do the gamerverse thing. Like I
Yeah.
know my son
But-
has like the Miles Morales one from the Miles Morales game, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
another one from one of the Spider-Man gamerverse ones. But
But
I'm
if
assuming
they
that's
did
why they
come
didn't
out,
make it Spider-Man for the Midnight Suns.
no, if they did come out with another Midnight Suns Legend, I would consider it. Iron Man was the only free Midnight Sun card in Marvel Snap though, so I don't have any other Midnight Sun cards in Marvel Snap. So, and they came out with ones for everybody.
Pretty
course.
clear why Iron Man didn't
How
go with it.
fulfilled are you feeling about that?
Actually, no, that's not true. I have the Deadpool one. I pulled that one. I got lucky. That was dumb luck. Deadpool. Yes, I feel very lucky.
Good.
Yes, I enjoyed that game too, but that's a whole other conversation. At Super Dwango had to say, Cheapy is the personification of the Simpson Skinner meme. I am oh, okay, because this is just messed up. Am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong. He is really just not that into video games anymore, but won't admit it. Does he know that it's not required for people in the industry to actually be into video games? Look at most of the major publishers' CEOs. Okay, this is what I'm going to say about this.
I don't even know what
Super
he's
Dwango.
saying. What is he even
He's-
fucking saying?
I don't know, and I don't think that that's necessarily true, Mr. Super Dwango. I saw Cheapy's year in review on the Xbox, and I don't think you could say that someone who's played over 800 hours of video
It
games in
wasn't
the last
800.
year. Yes, it was. Wasn't it like 849 or something like that?
No, that was yours.
No, mine was over 1,000.
Yeah. No.
It's not. It's
Well,
not
first of all, I
good?
share mine with Ty.
I'm sticking up for you. Just roll with it.
But look, his comment is so weird. He's saying, like, I'm not that into video games, but I won't admit it. But I mean, I admit that. Like, why would I not admit that? I say I don't play that many video games anymore. Like, why would I not admit that? But then he goes on to say that it's fine because the CEOs, first of all, I'm not even in the industry. What do you? It's crazy talk. The whole comment is terrible.
Mhm.
I did play
There's no industry
100.
anymore. E3's gone.
Mhm.
Right, exactly. We'll talk about our Xbox year in review later.
I think you play a higher than average amount of video games.
Yeah, I think you still do too. I
So
think
I'm-
you play. You play what you like and you play what you know, and that's fine because I do the same thing.
I
So
I will say, out of all the things that I'm worried about in my life, my gamer street cred is at the way bottom. Like, I never once even popped into my mind. I've accumulated more gamer street cred than really most people could ever hope to get in their lifetime. I could have stopped 10 years ago, and you'll never catch up. Sorry. Just like my height, you're not going to catch up, even if you write these comments.